Hello, my name is Naisha Napoleon and today I'll be talking about tracking loggerhead shrike, Lenus ludovicianus migration. Loggerhead shrikes are an insectivorous bird, meaning that their diet is mainly based off insects. These shrikes are considered a common bird in North and Central America. However, since the 1960s, there has been a nearly 80% decline in the population numbers of the species based off of the Breeding Bird Survey. We currently have data on the distribution of birds, but we lack data on the stopover sites and the paths taken by birds during their migration. Having information on stopover sites and the paths taken by birds is important for understanding what areas need critical management for the population numbers to increase. In this presentation, I will evaluate three methods of obtaining migration data by their data quantity, accuracy, and feasibility. One method of recording migration data is light-level geolocators. Geolocators are tags that are attached to birds with custom-fitted methods such as leg loop harnesses, which don't obstruct the bird's movement. Geolocators feature a barometer, exposed light sensor, and battery. As the bird migrates, these tags record light levels at preset times a day and store the averages on the tag. These tags can provide stopover habitat data when overlaid with vegetation data such as vegetational indices. Geolocator tags are a very feasible option since they are lightweight, relatively cheap, and have long battery life. Some cons of using geolocator tags include varying degrees of precision for location estimates, as errors in light measures due to bird behavior or environmental shading can skew the estimated latitude. Another con is that since data is stored on the tag, researchers must recapture the bird to get data. Another method that is commonly used to track animal movement is the use of VHF or very high frequency telemetry. To use VHF, tags featuring a long antenna that continuously sends out a determined frequency are attached to the animal. When the animal passes within range of an antenna setup, like a telemetry tower, the tag frequency is picked up and researchers can record the time and location of detection. Some organizations, such as MODIS, offer continuously active telemetry towers that are spread across regions in networks such as the one pictured here. Benefits of this method are ability to estimate stopover time by calculating distances between stations, real-time data availability, and ability to customize tags to maintain battery life. A downside is that you can only collect data within range of towers, so bird migration has to align with the distribution of towers within the network. Another con is that data can be skewed by direction reversals or birds that fly low, since all birds in a study or group are detected with the same frequency. The final and best method of tracking migration movement in order to fill data gaps is GPS telemetry. GPS tags are attached to animals and set to record location data at predetermined times of day. The location of the tag is estimated by the time it takes a signal, which details a GPS satellite's position, to reach the antenna of the tag. Researchers can also modify the time to fix, which is the time that the tag spends receiving signals. More time reaches more satellites, increasing the location accuracy of the tag. Tags must be less than 5% of an animal's body mass, and loggerhead shrikes weigh less than 200 grams. So it's best to use a store-on-board tag, which weighs less than a remote upload tag. GPS tags can capture accurate locations and provide a large quantity of data, such as flight speed and timing between sites. One con is that since the tag is archival, researchers won't be able to get data without recapturing the bird. Researchers also won't know if the tag properly records data until after the project ends. A final con is that GPS tags tend to be more expensive and take longer to acquire. Now let's compare results from some studies. On the left is a figure showing geolocator points overlaid onto a map of a songbird's summer and winter ranges. While conducting the study, researchers found points to have a northward shift and skewed latitudes. Geolocator does provide stopover site data and additional information about habitat, but there is a lack of accuracy. In the center is data from a VHF telemetry study on a songbird species with a shorter dispersal. VHF telemetry provides some stopover and path data, but paths may not be accurate to what birds actually take, and VHF is not always feasible due to tower placement. Finally, on the right is a map overlaid with GPS telemetry data. Stopover site data is relatively more accurate, and the paths of individual birds are recorded, showing varied path selection. While GPS telemetry has some cons in terms of feasibility, the accuracy and the amount of data gained outweighs these cons, making it the best choice for obtaining stopover site and migrational path data. These are my sources that I used for this presentation. I would like to thank Audubon South Carolina for their helpful graphics. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the section below. Thank you.